Right now on News 4 at 11, preparing for the worst. 1 week after the deadly Texas church shooting, find out how a Buffalo pastor is working to keep his congregation safe.
And we've been seeing scattered showers out there tonight, especially across the southern tier. Some of it might turn a little bit icy by tomorrow morning. I'll let you know what to expect when you hit the road. It's coming up in your 4-1 forecast.
And the Saints march all over the Bills at New Era Field. Our sports team breaks down what went wrong in this upsetting loss.
Live in high definition, this is Western New York's news leader. Now, News 4 at 11.
1 week after a mass shooting at a church, the town of Sutherland Springs is still healing. More than 500 people made their way to church this morning, the biggest crowd in the congregation's history. Good evening, everyone. The small Texas town was shaken after a gunman opened fire during a church service, killing 26 people and wounding 20 others. Earlier this evening, services were held under a tent and led by Pastor Frank Pomeroy, who lost his 14-year-old daughter in the shooting. The sanctuary where the shooting happened has been turned into a memorial. 26 chairs are set up inside the church with the names of each person killed. The U.S. Air Force has admitted it did not report the gunman's domestic assault charges into a national law enforcement database. That could have prevented him from buying weapons. A Buffalo pastor is now preparing his congregation. A few police officers and members of the SWAT team spoke to churchgoers at True Bethel Baptist Church today about what to do if there's ever an active shooter. News 4's Shannon Smith joins us live in studio with what they learned. Shannon?
Callan, church members at True Bethel Baptist Church learned to run, hide, and fight, a practice taught by the Department of Homeland Security and the FBI. Many people say this training has made them a little more comfortable during church service.
It's a full house during Sunday service at True Bethel Baptist Church. That's why Pastor Darius Pridgeon wants every person in his congregation to be prepared for an active shooter.
We, in the last year, have had a person come into the church and pull their gun.
Pridgeon says it was after an argument got heated. Church security, who has also had training, handled the situation and no one was hurt. But after last week's deadly shooting at a Texas church, Pridgeon invited Buffalo police officers and members of the SWAT team to speak during service.
The events across the country reflect a need to prepare even houses of worship for active shooter. It's good to familiarize the congregation with what to do.
So what should you do? Police say 3 things. Run and try to get out of the building. If you can't, hide somewhere. And as a last resort, fight with everything you have. Officers say even children need to know.
We have to train them that when their life is in danger,
what's an active shooter alarm sound like? Doesn't exist, right?
Something you shouldn't do, never pull the fire alarm during an active shooter situation.
It would be so wonderful in the future if we can get maybe a silence alarm that says active shooter on it, and we can pull that alarm, and that will probably save time and save lives.
There's an exit to my left.
Police say always be aware of emergency exits and people around you. And if you see something suspicious, always say something.
Now, starting next Sunday, Pridgeon says there will be even more signs at the beginning of service to alert people of all emergency exits in the building. Police say it's important to have these trainings in public places like churches and schools. Live in the studio, Shannon Smith, News 4 at 11.
Mobile gas station at Main and Winspear in Buffalo remains closed tonight as crews continue to monitor a gas leak. Earlier this evening, the Buffalo Sewer Authority was on site pumping out gas fumes from an underground tank. We're told there is no threat to the public. A spokesperson for the city just told us there is no update on the situation. The Erie County Sheriff's Office and Crime Stoppers are offering a $1,000 reward for help catching a criminal. A Subway employee captured this man robbing the store at Main Road in the town of Newstead. The cell phone video shows the suspect taking money from the register. The robbery happened around 6 o'clock last night. The sheriff's office says the suspect displayed a gun and a crowbar and demanded money. The sheriff's office says the suspect in his 40s to 50s left in a gold or tan pickup truck heading towards Clarence. Getting you ready for the week, the final vote on a controversial tax increase is expected to happen this week. West Seneca's town supervisor Sheila Megan proposes a 12% tax hike that has many residents outraged. The increase would mean people who have homes assessed at $60,000 would pay an additional $135 a year. Leaders say those tax dollars would be used to pay for projects like new roads and the highway department. At the last meeting, the town board members told us they would look at ways to reduce the increase before the final vote. One data breach can be devastating to a small business or nonprofit. There's not only a reputation issue, but the upfront costs of credit monitoring and legal fees can quickly drain a bank account. And while we've heard a lot about big companies like Equifax getting hit, smaller businesses are not immune to the threat. Experts say this new reality should give pause to anyone handling and storing personal information.
We don't understand where the weaknesses are, and that takes a lot of money, time and effort to do these risk assessments. And a lot of the risk is not just technical risk, it's also human risk.
The 6 questions every company should be asking before it's too late. Join Luke Moretti tomorrow for a special report on News 4 at 6. Starting Tuesday, overnight traffic restrictions will go into place on a portion of the westbound 198. From 10 p.m. Tuesday until 6 Wednesday morning, the area of Route 5 Main Street will be closed. A detour will be posted telling drivers to exit and re-enter the 198 westbound using Humboldt Parkway. There will also be multiple lane closures in the same area, but eastbound. News 4 and Colvin Cleaners still needs your help collecting coats for families in need. Yesterday, about 1,500 coats were given away at True Bethel Baptist Church. While that number is great, we want to make sure there are enough coats for the next distribution day, which is happening Saturday at Colvin Cleaners on Elmwood from 9 in the morning until 1 p.m. You can head to our website for coat drop-off locations. The Bills took on the New Orleans Saints today at New Era Field and suffered a tough loss. News 4 Sports' Shannon Shepard joins us live in studio with reaction from the locker room. Shannon?
Well, Callan, the Bills had all the odds in their favor for this afternoon's game. They were coming off 10 days of rest, adding Kelvin Benjamin to their lineup, and welcoming a team that normally plays in a dome to Buffalo. But they never got it going on either side of the ball, and the Saints' run game was phenomenal. Mark Ingram was a big reason why. He finished with 131 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns, the first one coming midway through the first quarter. His second came in the second quarter from 3 yards out, punching it in again. New Orleans led 17-3 at the half. The other half of their ground game was Alvin Kamara. He also had a 100-yard-plus day. The Bills' defense had no answer and their offense didn't either. Third quarter, Tyrod Taylor, he gets picked off. He finished just 9 of 18 with 56 yards passing. Sheldon Rankins took this one down to the 3, where the Saints scored again. The Bills get torched 47-10.
This is not easy to take, not an easy pill to swallow, especially at home. And our fans deserve more. And so we go back hard at work to give them more.
Yeah, well, how you respond, I think that's major, and especially in this sport. You know, our team, that your opponent, they watch another team kick your butt, right? So how do you respond? You come out there next week with a whole new mind frame, with a whole new strategy, with a whole new attitude. That'll be the challenge. And I think the guys that's locked on, they're up for it.
As a team, we have to regroup, refocus, and find a way to correct where we're doing wrong and bounce back. We know that we have the talent to go out there and compete with anyone, but it's just about us honing in on what we do the best and go out there and make it happen.
Coming up in sports director Josh Reed breaks down this loss with WGR Sal Capaccio. In the studio, Shannon Shepard, News 4 Sports.
Thanks, Shannon. Orchard Park police were busy during today's game responding to a number of calls. One of the most serious incidents, 2 women were hit by a car. Police say it happened around 6:15 at Abbott Road near One Bills Drive. One of the women was trapped under one of the car's tires. Fire and EMS crews got her out, and both women were taken to ECMC, where they are in fair condition tonight. Police say the driver of the car is cooperating, and so far, no charges have been filed. Officers and EMS crews were also kept busy attending to medical calls they say were often due to alcohol consumption. Last week, an undercover operation revealed Transportation Security Administration screenings at airports fail for the most part. Now, U.S. Senator Chuck Schumer is calling on the TSA to double down on security efforts ahead of the holiday travel season. Homeland Security investigators found more than 70% of the time undercover officers were able to get through TSA checkpoints with fake knives, guns, even explosives. Senator Schumer says the threat from organizations like ISIS is greater than ever.
They have to put the same effort they did after 2001, 2002, 2003 at training their employees to stop explosive devices from getting on airplanes, and in finding technology, which is so advanced now.
Senator Schumer says the TSA should move immediately to address gaps in training procedures, technology, and, quote, the entire airport security process. Well, still to come here on News 4 at 11, searching for a forever home, how you can help one Western New York adoption agency during the upcoming holiday season. And HEAT help when qualifying families can sign up for the HEAP program.
And getting you ready for the work week, what you need to know as you head out the door tomorrow morning and when our next big storm will be. We'll have all that coming up in your 7-day forecast.